What's up, guys? All right. So we're gonna wait here for CashFlow Kris to finish his phone call, and then we'll get started. Good.
4 o'clock. There we go. Turn it off. Hello, world.
Man, good times. Are we good? We good? Yep, we can all see it.
All right, let's go on and let everybody know that we are live.
Perfect.
So what's happening?
Oh man, I should have had my daughter. Hey John, how's it going? Thank you for joining us, man.
Yes. He's
So we
on vacation, I guess.
Arizona doesn't change time zones, so that's why it was different here for you. Arizona's, I think, probably the only state, right? I think if you look at time zones, there's actually an Arizona time zone. Hey Lee, thank you for joining us. So anyway, John, that's why it would be a different time for you, but it's still 12 o'clock over here for us. So we're going live. Nice. You're gonna get that. We're gonna get that shared.
That's shared. So you have a drive coming up.
Oh yeah, man.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Oh crap. Yeah.
Come on.
Dude, I'll tell you guys here. Yeah, you don't even know. So basically, my nonprofit, Together We Grow Phoenix, is having we call it a care package for the homeless. So what we're doing is we're grabbing a bunch of bags and then we're filling them up with toiletries. So your soaps, your shampoos, your underwear, socks, maxi pads for the ladies, razors for the men, toothpaste, toothbrushes, those type of things.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing this on Sunday in downtown Phoenix. If you guys are in Phoenix and you would like to help out, we're going to be meeting over there at 9 a.m. And then, hey, Pam, thank you for joining us. We're going to be meeting there at 9 a.m. And then I believe we're going to be distributing everything at like 12. So we're going to give a few hours to be able to wait there. But the good news and the shit that I forgot to tell you is we just got confirmation from a local news station here, 3TV, that they were actually going to be covering us. So they're supposed to be showing up there at 8 a.m. and then at 9 a.m.
3's always looking for a
good
story. 3TV's the one to go to.
So we had to reach out to the guy a few times. Our good friend Robert, who he's with Cloud Covered Streets, and they deal a lot with the homeless, and he's actually been on 3TV a few times. I had a meeting with him. Hey Jonathan, thank you for joining us. So we've had a meeting with him, and he said, hey man, I know somebody. I know where I can get you guys into the television. I talked to the guy, Frank, from Make-A-Wish Foundations. He was the founder, the founder of Make-A-Wish. I met him when I was over in Palm Springs when I was at that event where I met all those people with money.
He's always
awesome. Well, he's him and Greg are doing this movie. So they're actually making a movie about his life.
Awesome.
Believe it or not, that guy Frank, he's a very blue-collar type guy. I mean, it's all completely non-profit, so he doesn't take a pay from the non-profit or does any of that shit. He just basically lives off his highway patrol pension.
Right. He was
just a highway patrolman, and he decided that he wanted to do something back for the kids. So I said, hey Frank, how do I get more coverage based up for my non-profit? He's like, here's what I would suggest in your city, because he actually lives here in Prescott, so he lives a few hours away from Phoenix, but he let us know how it was going. So we're gonna be out there Sunday downtown. We're meeting at the Civic Space Park, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. We're going to be collecting all the donations. So if you guys have any donations that you want to come and drop off, you guys can. So we have people that are going to be stopping by the stores that may have toiletries at their house that, they got collected throughout the years from hotels or whatever people do. Or if you just want to donate online, Ebony, I see that you're on there. Can you do me a favor? Can you post the Together We Grow event and then the Together We Grow PayPal link? So if any of you guys are interested here in Phoenix for the event information, Ebony will put the post on there. And then any of you guys that are here in Phoenix or any of you guys that are out of state that want to donate for that, you can just go on the link and then go ahead and put your information. So before I could finish this subject, I had a meeting on Wednesday with some local investors. And they said that they really liked what I was doing and they wanted to team up with me and help me out with the nonprofit. So they actually just donated a few $100s here for this to help us with this particular event. This is probably one of our lower cost events that we'll do. But yeah, they decided they were going to help us out with future events also in becoming like sponsors for Together We Grow and be able to help us out financially. So
right.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely you've had us all clean out our closets and all that, but it's probably cash that's better, or donations that are, because then you can go buy bulk and stuff, right? Is that kind
well,
of
that's kind of what we've been doing. I think we had it for I want to say it was a Thanksgiving drive that we did with Together We Grow, and it was the first time that we opened it up to where people can donate online via PayPal. Most people chose to donate online via PayPal. So because we got a big chunk of money, we were able to just go to Costco and then just get a bunch of stuff. So not only were we able to save money, or we were able to get bigger portions for the families. So we had like these big old giant pies that were bigger than my freaking head. We had bigger sized turkeys and everything else that we were able to get, as opposed to if we would have gone to like the smaller convenience store or the smaller grocery store here, then it would have been a little bit different. So yeah, definitely that helps out. But either way, just putting it out there that we're doing that, letting you guys know that we're going to be on television. So at 8 a.m. It's probably just going to be me, my assistants, or somebody else just out there. Going to be talking with the news. At 9 a.m. Is when we're going to be out there. If you guys are in the Phoenix area, if you guys want to come out and help out, if you guys want to help us anyway, then just make sure you're there a little bit before 9 a.m. So because the news will be going live with our event in downtown. So hooray, that's awesome. But more importantly, it gets to spread the word to more people. And here at the AZ Flip guys, not only do we believe in doing real estate, not only do we believe in flipping for cash and holding for wealth, but we also believe in giving back. There you go. Thank you, Ebony. I appreciate you putting that on there. And then if you can do me a favor, also put out the PayPal link. So if anybody wants to donate directly to PayPal, they could do that. So cool. Real estate. Let's get into some real estate. So this is the check that we've all been fucking waiting for. You guys don't know anything about this deal, but it's going to go into the topic that we're going to talk about today. Was this the fucking deal? Yep, 71st. Where the fuck did I put the check? I don't know, somewhere around here.
No wire this time, just a check.
Yeah, we have to check. Did I cut the check off? Oh, no, this is for wrong folder. No, so this is for the property in Carroll. This is that other property that we had. And actually, we can talk about that one too, because that one will fall in there. I ended up wholesaling that property to somebody else.
I think you learned kind of a good lesson. Well, from that wholesaler we were talking about, the guy who said that he doesn't, unless it has a certain amount of profit, it's just not worth it, because this deal, like, he could have taken it down, but it probably would have been an add-on, right?
Yes.
And so you're talking about a long project, you're talking about an expensive project, and it's still going to be a lower end neighborhood. So while that's something that we've done in the past, that might be something that maybe not in the future, because that guy made a good point. I mean, that's a lot of work, it's a lot of money. You need to have bigger profits if you're going to do those types of things.
Exactly.
So you just wholesaled it off, made a couple grand, and
moved on to the next one. So that was that one there. I actually put a post up yesterday with that particular check, plus this lady this letter that I got from the mayor's office because of that 40 under 40 award that I had won a few months ago. So that was pretty fucking cool, right?
Very cool.
So anyway, that particular property there, I did ended up wholesaling it to somebody else. We were going to take it down. I actually had put it on the contract with the intention to take it down, but it was going to be a much bigger rehab than intention, right? So this particular guy, good thing with us is that, and me particular, is I love networking with people. And I love getting out there and just learning from people that are doing more than what we're doing at any given point, right? So this particular guy does a whole lot more flips than we do. And he's kind of been around or whatever. So I said, hey man, here's the property. Here's what I'm looking to do. And I'm reaching out to you. I'm not even blasting it out. Hey Jeff, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. So I said, hey, I'm not even going to blast it out. I'm just going to put it out to you because I know that, if you want to, you're interested in it and you don't mind. So I said, here's my plan. I was going to do the addition. I was going to do this. And there's a house four houses down the street right over here on the same side of the street that had the exact same layout, and this is what they did, and this is the prices they sold it for, so this is what I'm looking to do. And he's like, yeah, you know what, I'll buy it from you, but I'm not going to do that because I have to do this, put permits, time, everything else. I don't mind doing those things, but I only do it in the higher end neighborhoods. I don't do it in the lower end neighborhoods.
Makes sense.
Which makes a lot of sense. So that's the point that we're trying to make here, guys, is that we were able to learn something from him. But so the lesson that I learned from this one, what ended up happening with this one was a hoarder house, right?
I'm telling you, the world goes in themes. I mean, seriously, when's the last? I had a hoarder house probably 2 years ago, and then nothing, right? And then this has got to be number like 6.
Something like
because
that.
I'm doing another one that you don't even know about that's a hoarder house. It's like 6 in a row, 6 hoarder houses right in a row.
Nice.
It's amazing. So we'll take them.
It started with the one that I got, the mezcal.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
started
I
all
mean,
rolling.
that one was a real hoarder house because that one had trash from floor to ceiling. Like that one, fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
This one was just more of a hoarder on the backyard. So I reached out to this guy. I said, "Hey, man, here's the pictures." My assistant didn't get him the pictures till like two days after I told her to. So he had already just kind of signed the paperwork and said, "Yeah, we're good." Then he got the pictures and he's like, "What the fuck is all this trash in the back? Like, this is fucking crazy."
Right.
Now, I know for a fact, had he seen the pictures in the beginning, we probably still would have negotiated around the same price because it was what it was. But now he had signed the paperwork. He didn't know what was going on. And you know, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of reputation. I've done deals with this guy before, and you know we've always been pretty upfront with each other. So I said, look, man, here's the thing: is if it's that big of a deal, then I'll start getting rid of some of the stuff in the back. And then it got to the point where he's like, look, man, I just want that stuff gone, all the stuff in the back, because I don't want to pay for all that shit. So I was able to do that. Now, it ended up going from something that I could have just easily either just sent him the pictures or confirmed with my assistant that the pictures were sent that day before he signed the contract or and something like that, then that would have been okay. But because that little problem didn't get taken care of right away, then it turned into a much bigger problem.
Right.
So that's part of that, and that's the other check. Like I said, I put that yesterday. But this check here, let me make sure that, because I just got this shit. Like literally, the guy just came in earlier today. So let's see if you guys can see that right there, 41,000 something. This is for 71st Avenue, which is a property that we've been dealing with here for a while. Super glad to get that gone.
Yeah, man.
Was sitting on the market for a long time. It was just kind of a pain in the butt, and we finally got everything done. Finally got the property sold. Now, did we sell that one a few times? Then we have somebody back out, or
yes, we did, but then we sold it again right away. And that's the other thing is, you know, sometimes it's not really the price, it's not really the condition. We just didn't get anything, and then you get everything. You know,
well, and I mean
nothing for a while, and then we get like 2 or 3 offers at the same time because we negotiated for the first one. We had like 3 offers, and then we took one, and then we had to go back. So,
but it happened just with the normal cycle that properties normally have here in Phoenix, which is you have that dead time between mid-November to right about the end of February-ish. Actually, you know, right about mid-February when people start getting there. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Lee? Yo.
Yeah, once it gets a little bit warm, once we have a couple warm days,
yes,
people start getting excited, start going out, looking at stuff. And then they know their tax returns are right around the corner.
Exactly.
So.
And that's the thing. So that one was ghost town for a while, and then all of a sudden we were able to get that thing sold. So this particular property is a good example of when a little problem turns into a big problem. If you guys are out there flipping houses, if you guys want to flip houses, if you guys are out there wholesaling houses to flippers, if you guys want to be in this industry, you really, really want to pay attention to what we're going to be talking about here. Because a lot of times, and this is in life in general, by the way, big problems are nothing more than an accumulation of a bunch of small problems or a small problem that was just unattended for a while.
Right.
That's all it fucking was, right? So, like...
a lot of little issues.
A lot of little fucking issues. A lot of little stupid shit. And then it blows over something that had absolutely nothing to do with that particular issue in the beginning.
Right.
So, in this particular house, we did the rehab. We had got the property listed. We finally got somebody to buy. They put the deposit in. They went through the inspection period, and then we were locked in. We were ready to go. Hey, Casey, how's it going? Hey, dude, did I see my calendar right? Are we having dinner later on tonight? Shit. Well, I tell him to fucking talk to Christina, so it's on my calendar. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, Casey, but if it is, then I'll see you later on tonight. I think my thing says 5:30 dinner with Casey, so that could be word. Nice.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice. So anyway, went to this property. I started. We got everything, and then we got what's known as the Binzer. Now the Binzer is it's an acronym.
Yeah.
Right?
Buyer inspection notice and seller response. So
Thank you.
The buyers do their inspection. They have
African food. Woo! Yeah, African food. Yes, hell yeah. If there's something, then either me or Casey are gonna find it.
Right. So they'll do their inspection. They'll say, hey, this is what we want fixed. You say yes, no. We negotiate in the middle, and I mean, usually you're willing to do whatever they want because it's a lot of little crap a lot of times. So you just agreed. We didn't even counter on that.
Yeah, we did.
Just said, yeah, whatever it is, we'll do it.
Well, and normally we'll counter on some stuff because sometimes they do try to get extra with it. They try to ask for extra things that have absolutely nothing to do with the condition of the property. It's just stupid shit that they can do themselves. But in this particular property, because it sat for so long, because it was already on its multiple offer, I was just like, fuck it, let's just do what they want and let's just get this one out of here, right? So we didn't do anything with that.
So you can get this, because once you get this, you can put that into probably 2 other properties, right?
Well, and what ended up happening is that between the first one that got under contract, so the first time that I thought we had it sold, to now that I just got my check today, that's like 2.5 months. 3 months that time has passed?
Yeah, we got it right here.
And then a lot of it...
We listed it right after Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah.
So we had nobody look at it for a month and a half.
Ghost town.
And we started it at 179.
Mm-hmm.
So, right around here is where we got an offer. To be 1st of February, and then again in the...
Perfect.
So another week, it fell off.
Yeah, so it was close to 2 months, basically, from the time that we got the first deal to the time that we closed on this one. Now, hey, Jason, thank you for joining us. So this one here, 2 months, that's 2 months of utilities. That's 2 months of hard money payments. That's 2 months of payments with my money partner or whatever interest I'm giving them. That's 2 months of potential things that could happen.
Opportunity cost. That's the most expensive one.
Within those 2 months, my fucking appliances got stolen. So we had to freaking... So I have to pay. So out of this, I have to pay the appliance package that came. That was in the original bid, but the extra one obviously is extra.
Appliances got broken into. They stole the water heater. They stole the pool equipment. Though we didn't even know they stole. Because we didn't pay attention to that.
Yes.
So that was very last.
Oh my God. So anyway, those were things. Those are cost of opportunities, and that's things that can happen in the business. But you get a Binzer anytime that your buyers go. So you put a property on there, your buyers come, they like it, they say, yeah, we're good to go. They go through their normal inspection period. Yeah, they're good to go. Then they go ahead and through their lender process, and normally their lender will send out an inspector, an appraiser. Somebody's going to say, yeah, the property is worth X amount based on the condition, the stuff. This particular, they'll go in there and they'll take a look at stuff, and the inspector will normally point out stuff. This outlet's not working here. This fan, whatever, it's loose. This faucet is leaking. This pipe is not tied on correctly.
The flex pipe.
Yeah,
they always try to get away with that. They get called out every time.
Real basic shit, man. Real basic shit. Nothing too crazy. Sometimes if there is bigger problems, they'll let you know, hey, that wire's not grounded correctly. The AC unit's not working, or it's only blowing cold air. It's not blowing hot air. It's only blowing hot air, not cold air, whatever. So they let you know bigger issues, but most of it happens to be smaller issues. So this particular one, I sent it over to my contractor. I said, hey, we need to get this fixed. And for whatever reason, not everything was fixed. So we had to go there. basically when you get the Benzer, you agree to it or you contest it. Once you agree to it and you come to an agreement, you'll say, okay, it'll be done by this date.
Right.
They go back out by that day.
It needs to be like a week or so before closing, so
of
they
course.
can make sure everything's done and do their walkthroughs.
Now, if they happen to go back in that date and something is not correct, something wasn't addressed, something wasn't fixed, whatever the case is, then you have to go through it again. Mm-hmm. So now they write up, hey, this is what's going on, and then they do it again. Well, for whatever reason, my guys didn't fucking do it right the second time either. So now they had to go back out and do it again. Now, as Chris said, normally they'll do it about a week before closing, just in case something were to happen. Now, once it goes past the second time, though, you're most likely going to go past your closing date. Yeah. Because it's not like the inspector is just sitting around there waiting for your phone call saying, hey, I can't wait to go to Chris's property or Brian's property. They got other stuff to do.
The inspector, we had a fallback with him. Then he had to go back several times, but also the appraiser called out a couple things. And so the appraiser went out a couple times and stuff wasn't done. And so now you have a $125 extra fee to have them go out after that. So,
well, not only the extra fee to have them go out after that, but, and this is the part where you guys really want to pay attention, a little problem starts becoming a bigger problem. Things that wouldn't mattered had everything been done correctly the first time, now they start picking at it because now they come back upset. Yeah. You know, now,
and this is why. So, I mean, you got to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. So, they're making the biggest purchase of their life, probably first-time home buyers. They're excited. They come back, nothing's done. Some stuff is done a little bit shoddy, and they're like, what's going on? They can't close on time because they made arrangements to move out of their apartment. Yep. So now they're like, we're homeless. What do we do? And it freaks them out, you know? You want them to just come in and no issues, whatever they want. You want them to be so happy, and it didn't happen.
And that's the thing is that when people are already upset because of something else, because of a small issue that went unaddressed, any little issue becomes a big fucking issue.
The pool pump, right? Yep. So we had issue after issue after issue, and so at the very end,
it wasn't even the pool pump; it was a pool cleaner.
Yeah, not the pool pump. Yeah, just the cleaner, just the cleaner. You know, which in a normal transaction, oh hey, guess what? We forgot that. You know, instead it's like, oh my god, I can't believe this, and we're scrambling, and it was
in a normal transaction, it would have been like, oh, don't worry about it, guys, we'll get it ourselves. Yeah. Or hey, if you the buyer says if you guys could just cut them a check for that, or what did they pay out of escrow? Something very easy, but cordial. Because exactly cordial, fine, but because it wasn't addressed correctly in the beginning, it ended up becoming a bigger issue at the end. And what ended up happening was that every single time they waited back, they found new shit to complain about. So not only with the little things that now could have been addressed, now becoming bigger issues because they weren't addressed, but now they're finding new things because now they're going in there with a critical eye. Now they're like, well, I need to see. I mean, if these guys aren't doing this right, then what else didn't they do right?
Right. They get skeptical and they're just mad. They're angry. So
and once again, I agree with them. What's that? Sounds like the domino effect. Yep.
It really is, you know, and emotions.
Yes.
People get pissed. The realtors are pissed, and we understand. Like, I get it. Everybody's mad. Like in this transaction, I was telling Wendy.
Oh man.
Everybody's pissed off. You're pissed off. I'm pissed off. They're pissed off. And
everybody was pissed. I was so livid. I was so livid, man. I was cussing out my contractor. I was just extremely irritated.
And it's because so many things had to go wrong. Normally, it's not a big deal. Same with him. With us to them, with you to your contractor. Usually, hey, we forgot a couple things. Crap. All right, go out. And it's never an issue. But yeah, when we let everything do it, and then when you let the time compound that problem, things just get ugly on something that should be easy.
Time, money. I don't know. I knew that the buyers had set up some type of moving arrangement. I knew that their lease or their house or whatever was going to be up there. I don't know exactly what they did. I don't know if they ended up paying for a hotel or stayed with a friend or
always
whatever.
Make it happen.
No, I know they always make it happen.
It's always the drama, like we're homeless, like yeah, right.
But it's still like you have that freaking extra time and money expense, whatever that was. So whether that be that they had to pay a prorated amount of rent at their old apartment for the extra week or so, whether it had to be that they stayed at a hotel, whether it had to be that they had to inconvenience a friend or something. There's other aspects that go into it that now make this little problem into a big fucking problem.
And you know what? We might have been, who's that? John? Yeah.
Yeah, we end up paying more for our mistakes. That is correct.
Because think about what could have happened. So you draw it out, because so many people are buying a house with no money anyways. They're spending every dime they have to buy it. What if that 2 weeks knocked out their savings? Now they can't show reserves. Now they can't get the loan, and the deal falls out over something stupid, you know?
And there's a lot of things like that, because a lot of times people that we deal with, they're in the very lower end of the market. And even people with, even people higher than an FHA buyer, most people, I mean, they barely have enough for their down payment as is anyway. So if any extra expense comes their way, then it could be a big problem. But yeah, just like John said, I mean, we do end up paying more for the mistakes. At the end of the day, you should pay for your mistakes. It is what it is. I mean, if you fucked up, you fucked up. If you promised them this, that should have been there. Had we been to closing and they said, "Hey, man, the pool cleaner's gone. It was there during inspection." I didn't bitch and complain. I just said, "Fucking pay for it. We'll take care of it." I mean, they're not cheap. Like $500 or whatever. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter though. We were going to give them what they wanted. But now at this point, even with us giving them what they wanted, they were still upset. They were still pissed. They were still very angry with those type of things. So you guys want to be careful out there and you remember that any little problem can turn into a huge problem if it's unattended. Right. So you can't see my yard here, and even if I point it outside, it's too bright for the camera to look at. But I got a pretty big backyard here. And I have a lot of, I'm up in the mountains, so I got a lot of desert flowers that grow within there. Right next to them, though, there is an area where we had irrigated we have this little garden that we're starting, and then we have an orange tree. So we irrigated there from there. And right next to where the water lines were at, some weeds started growing. Now, normally during the winter, we don't really fuck with that, and then the rains come, and it just started getting bigger and bigger. And the last few times that we've cut the grass, we just avoided that area. So this last time I went there, and a regular weed that, is normally that big, dude, these things were from the ground to like probably, I'm like 5'10". They were probably 4.5 feet, 4 feet. I mean, they were just right up there. And then trying to get these things out, I mean, you had to dig these things out with a fucking shovel.
Right.
That's a little problem that could have easily been pulled out with 2 fingers. Now you're talking about, I'm digging and digging. I have my daughter pulling on the shovel. I'm like pulling on this freaking thing, trying to get this out. And there were these big old roots,
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about. Any little problem can become a big problem. What's that, Andres? Weeds will kill your crop, and that's exactly right. It was killing my crop. This is my crop right here, man. This is my harvest. This is my corn. This is my wheat. This is what I get. This is my fruit and my vegetables in my garden that will happen after all the hard work and putting. But weeds will do that. Weeds will fuck it up. Weeds will take the water, the nutrients that it takes to get it, and they'll kill your crop. And that's the thing with the problems.
Metaphor, they talk about that in the compound effect, just about bad habits over time. After 20 years of a bad habit, it's really hard to change it. Otherwise you can just pull it like that. But it's also the compound effect, as in, maybe this one costs you an extra 3,000 or 4,000 of just BS, but you do 20, 30 deals a year. I mean, that's real money. That's 6 figures. That's somebody's salary for an entire year just in mistakes.
Exactly.
So that's why it doesn't happen on everyone. You got to.
And it doesn't happen, and we've had this happen with my contractor for like maybe 6-7 months ago. We had 53rd.
53rd, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking pain in the ass. Same fucking thing. Just a bunch of stupid.
And that was a pain in the ass
bullshit.
appraiser too. I mean, you could only get so much peeling paint off. So I feel bad for a lot of times. We feel bad for the contractor. It's like, yeah, but it still needs to get done. Is it bullshit? Yeah, it's bullshit. But if you don't do this, we can't close. So
and that was his thing. So when I was cussing him out on Friday or today's Friday, so Thursday. I don't even know, Wednesday, whatever the day that was where we had to get all this shit done, man. I was cussing him out, and he's like, dude, it's just they're just asking for all these little things, and it's just like there's no reason why they need to be asking. And I'm like, who gives a shit? You know, you guys fucked up by the third time. Now we have to give it to them. I mean, we had to had this been the first time and they would have been asking for some stupid shit out of that, go fuck yourself. Like, we did what you guys want. Yeah. It is that. You know,
we're with it. We're in the right.
Yeah.
When but you're not in the right.
But once we fucked up 2-3 times and we don't have this and we're keep on messing up and they're looking at us like, oh man, you're costing us money and time and we should have been in our new house and we should have been enjoying our pool by now and whatever else.
I was dealing with 2 of these in the same week. Wendy had another one that we were dealing with, but we were on the other side. We were the buyers and the seller wasn't performing, so we see what it's like from both sides. It's really frustrating for everybody.
It is, and then, you know, I like to have a very organized system. As you guys know, I'm always preaching about business systems. And part of the business system is this closing transaction, the Binzer, getting everything through the finish line, basically. And obviously, this is something that me and my contractor are going to have to sit down and talk. I'm going to have to make some decisions as to if I'm going to continue using him or what I'm going to continue doing, or if I am going to continue using him, what type of implementations are we going to put in there, either different settings from my end or different penalties on his end for stuff that, you know, it's going to happen.
I think that's what it's all about. So
let me grab some water, guys.
You made a mistake, you learn from it, and then, you know, what are the fixes going to be? What are the ahas and what are the fixes going to be? You know, so what are you going to do to change that? So we're looking at that as a realtor. We're looking at that on our end. What can we do? We're probably looking at, hey, let's just have more direct communication. And I think that's what it's all about. And then I think something as simple as pictures.
Yep.
And that could change everything. Say, hey, you want to get paid for this? Shoot me a picture, tell me it's done, and then you get paid for it. It's that simple. And then we can forward it along. Hey, not only is everything done, here's a picture of it, here's a receipt. Let's get this closed early.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about that portion of it. I'm just pointing out the fact is what happens when you don't. What's this? And what did we learn from this?
Lots.
A whole lot. And that's the thing. That's the point that I was going to get into right now is that, you know, we'll learn from this. We'll implement different parameters, different things, different checks and balances and stuff like that need to get done to prevent this from happening again. But more specifically, though, we learned that there is ways where we can improve.
Always.
At the end of the day. I mean,
get better, yeah.
Exactly. At the end of the day. And this is, you know, I'm not going to sit here and badmouth my contractor and be like, oh, that dumbass piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
like,
it's done
fucking
a lot
stupid,
of great
right?
jobs for
exactly.
You know?
This was a mistake. This is something that, you know, his guys didn't do or tell him that it was done or whatever. I know that he's not out there fucking turning the pipes himself. So whatever that case was, this still needs to be addressed. And that is the point that I'm trying to make to you guys is this situation, the overall situation about having an issue through title through closing on one property on the Binzer, that is a small problem at this point that needs to be addressed. When we had 53rd property that we told you guys about, we sat there and I had a meeting with him. We went out to lunch. I took my assistant and we put a few things into place. I think some of those things didn't go into place or some of those things have been forgotten or whatever. We just have to go back over it again and talk about those things. But that's one thing that we did learn from there. Hey, Amy, thank you for joining us here. Let me see what he said. I document everything, and you do with pics. Yeah, you do, Jason, and you do a great job. Jason does a lot of our stuff for our websites, a lot of my personal websites, the Easy Flip Guy site that we're working on and stuff and everything else. So he's always sending me pictures as proof for that.
That's the way to do it, man.
But once again, a lot of times you don't know that you're having an issue until you're having an issue, right?
True.
So, like, I see you're wearing your San Francisco 49ers hat. I went to go get some breakfast this morning. I don't watch too much TV, but on the TV screen there, they were talking about Kaepernick, right? And they're talking about, is he getting blackballed from the NFL or something along those lines? Right. And everybody's got their different opinions about Kaepernick. Some might say, that's great, he's taking a stand. Some other guys are like, he's very unpatriotic, fuck that son of a bitch. Whatever you fall into. My point is, if that motherfucker was winning, if that motherfucker had a Super Bowl, if he was, because I think they showed his stats and he was like 1-10 as a starter this last season. Had those stats been the other way around, right? I know, and I don't mean to dig in. I don't mean to throw salt on your wound there, buddy. Hey, Alberto, thank you for joining us, buddy. But had he been winning, all those things don't fucking matter, right? It's the same thing with my contractor. He's doing a good job. We're not worrying about it. And then something happens. Oh shit! Well, there's an issue. Now we have to address it.
Right.
But we have to learn, and that's where we have to nip this little problem in the ass. What is John? It's all about keeping up your good reputation. Yes, it is. So he's got some things that he's got to address on his end. We got some stuff that we got to address on our end. Obviously, Kris wants to keep his good reputation as a realtor. I want to keep my good reputation as a real estate investor, as somebody who's providing product out there for the general public to consume. And then my general contractor wants to keep his reputation about, hey, my guys can do the stuff. And that's one thing that I've talked with him, because we do multiple deals. I'm constantly at about 10 plus deals at a time. I told him, and I had this conversation with him, like, are you going to be able to handle all of this stuff? Right. If I see stuff happening, and I've slowly took away some of the workload after 53rd, just to kind of ease that pressure on him of having to do so many. And then obviously, right here we might have to ease some workload from him now until we figure out another thing, and then maybe give him, see where we're at that point. But it's all about learning. It's all about taking something that could have been avoided as a huge problem. So let's take my example here. Let's say that this happens. Let's say that I'm like the general public. Let's say that I fester and I'm talking to Kris, and man, this stupid son of a bitch and my fucking contractor, blah, blah, blah. But I never tell my contractor. I never have the conversation with him. I never tell him, hey, there's a problem. I never tell him, hey, there was an issue with this. Hey, this is not acceptable. I don't like this. This is not, we're not going to continue doing business this way. Whatever it is that I told my guy, had I not had that conversation, which a lot of people don't, by the way. Yeah. Then it happens the next deal. Then it happens the next deal. Then 4 or 5 deals happen. By the 5th deal, you're going to lose your shit, and you're cussing them out, and you're like, you stupid son of a bitch, you've cost me for the last 5 deals, and I've just been biting my tongue to tell you that I can't stand your ass, and whatever. It becomes a huge, huge problem.
Yes.
Where you could have easily just been like, hey, buddy, here's what's going on. I don't like this. This is the problem. I have an issue with this. How are we going to address this? How does this get taken care of? How does this get fixed? And that's the point that we're trying to make to you guys here. Is you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye out for the smaller problems that can go on many different aspects. So many different aspects of real estate. If you're out there wholesaling properties and you're telling people that this property is one thing when it's another, that's a little problem that can turn into a huge fucking problem.
Yeah, how many of those guys you just don't even open their email? Cause there's no point
paying attention to those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, they phase you out after a while.
And this is what I tell people all the time. When people come to me and they say, hey man, I want to be a flipper like you, I say, hey, learn how to fucking wholesale. Once you learn how to wholesale, then you can start kind of getting into that realm and flipping properties and that type of shit. The first thing you want to do is wholesale, because you get to know what real buyers look at. Yeah. However, you don't want to be wholesaling bullshit, because after your second, third bullshit property, people are just not going to listen to you. I know I won't. You may figure it out later, but I'm not going to listen to you for a long time, because you've already shown yourself that you don't know what you're doing. You're showing yourself that you're selling properties that had already been sold, or putting properties out there saying, hey, my buddy's locked it up, when actually somebody else has it locked up. Yeah. Or saying, hey, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, when it's actually a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Hey, that addition is permitted when it's not. Different things like that. When you're out there buying properties yourself, and you go and you say, oh, well, there's a comp down the road, it's selling for $250, so I know that this house could sell for $250 all day, bam. You don't even open the fucking comp. You don't even look at the pictures. You don't see what type of rehab they do. Right. You don't take into consideration that they have a garage, not a carport, or yours doesn't have any type of parking. You don't take into consideration that they have a pool. You don't take into consideration that they did super high-end fixes, or totally custom work on the property that's going to cost you a lot of money to get it to the point where you want to get it at.
Yeah. I got lazy on one. Tax record said it had 2 bathrooms. Mm-hmm. Wholesaler said it had 2 bathrooms. I get there, it has 1 bathroom. It's like, That's like 20 grand difference.
It is. It's a huge difference.
That's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. And that's where I'm telling you guys that a little problem can turn into a big problem. If something were to happen on that deal that he talked about, a $20,000 difference, he's basing his numbers off a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 3-bedroom, 2 baths, and it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Now he's got to put the extra 10, 15 grand to make that bathroom, depending on how he has to add square footage or whatever has to be done to get that. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different number. And then if something else goes wrong, then it's a whole different fucking ballgame. You know, if you were to have that plus this go wrong, now you're talking about maybe not making any profit, potentially even losing some money.
Right.
So those are little issues that go unchecked. Little tiny issues. If you guys are lenders out there, if you guys are lending your money, you're just partnering up with anybody. That's a little fucking issue that can become a big fucking issue. We talked about it last time. They, introduced themselves about people who had got partnered up with different people, and they partnered up with the wrong people, and little issues have become big fucking issues. You got that property over there on 61st or whatever that, you're trying to sell that one. That one's just everybody's knowing that one. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. But that's because the little stuff wasn't checked. Whatever wasn't going right he didn't say, hey man, I don't like what you're doing, or we got to talk about this. He just said, okay, well, fuck it, you're going to take care of it. We're going to fix it and whatever. Those are things that can happen if you're out there lending your money to other people doing flips. And we've talked to, the crazy thing about our business is that it's very interwoven, and we know a lot of people that know a lot of people that are connected with a lot of people that are doing this type of stuff. And we hear from people. We'll hear, hey, I lend money to so-and-so and that motherfucker hasn't paid me back yet, or it took him forever to pay me, or he didn't give me what he promised, or whatever. We hear that all the time. Very unsolicited. We're not we're asking around people's business. People just burst it out. Yeah. Little problems, little things, not verifying who you're doing business with. Not saying, okay, let me see your previous flips. Let me see what it is that you're doing. What type of contracts do we have in place? What type of security do I have, or not security, but what type of stuff do I have? Paper trail do I have saying that, hey, this is where my money is, how this is who owes it, this is how it's going to get paid. We have a property here right next door to where I'm at where they started doing a rehab, huge rehab, basically the brand new fucking house, right? Tore it down. Yeah. Didn't take out fucking permits. Yeah. Didn't take out permits.
You're not going to get away with that one.
You're not going to get away with that one, first of all. Second of all, it cost them like 6 months. And the guy, because I know the guy who was flipping it, the guy had to pay hard money payments for those 6 months at like 16, 18% or some shit like that. Now, he said luckily for him, he was able to refinance that lower to like a 11, 12% or some shit. But still, nonetheless, he was making hard money payments on stuff that happened. Now, what ended up happening is they're not going to be able to sell the fucking house, so they just moved in it for a while, and then they'll probably sell it in the future. But when you let little things like that go unchecked,
and it wasn't because they weren't going to get one; they just hadn't got.
They just hadn't got one yet.
So, and that costs so much. I mean, the permit.
Yeah, because the guy's not a dumbass. He does quite a bit of deals. He's got quite a few going. I actually I worked with his old partner back in the day, many, many years ago. So he's like his general contractor and stuff. So, I know how many deals he's doing or whatever. He does quite a bit of deals, but he just didn't check this. He let it go unchecked, and that little problem became into this huge problem. So anyway, guys, that is pretty much all we have for today. That's all we wanted to put out there to you guys. Just want to let you guys know that we're doing this every single Friday. Once again, we want to remind you guys to partner with the pros. If you guys are wholesalers that have some properties, make sure that you partner up with the pros. Bring it to us. I'm selling a few properties right now, so I'll be looking to buy some. I know you're probably selling some, so looking to buy some too. Yes. So make sure that you send us some. Sunday, Together We Grow, we're going to be in downtown. Eldon, who just joined us, he'll be there most likely with his son. He's always supporting the stuff that we do. 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. we're going to have the news there. 8 a.m. we'll have the news there also. But 9 a.m. if you guys want to make it there a little bit before, you can help us out. Once again, guys, every single Friday we do this. If you guys want to partner up with on some properties that you guys have, wholesale it to us. If you guys have some money that you want to partner up with us. Yep. If you guys want to do anything else, are you still filling your fund? You're still...
I'm still filling the fund, so if you know me, 25 grand, we'll get you in that. It's a long-term fund, and then we're growing our team. Martha joined our real estate team.
Nice.
I got another guy and his wife who are probably going to come on, so we're going to be about 6 or 7 agents deep.
Nice, good.
So that's the other thing. I'm teaching people to do real estate investing as well while they're selling real estate. So a lot of these wholesalers, it's easier to get paid if you just get a license and you can put deals together, find a buyer. You can't do that.
And the great thing about it, if anybody out there is a realtor and is interested in that, this is what I always talk about. Follow the people who are doing or have done what you want to do. So if he's a fucking realtor and he's been able to go from being strictly a realtor to being a full-time flipper and still make money as a realtor, why wouldn't you want to learn from him? Why wouldn't now? If you have no interest in ever becoming a realtor, then don't fucking go up to Kris and say, hey man, I want to join your team to be good. There's many other ways to become an investor. But if you're already a realtor, because I get approached by this all the time, man, hey, I'm a realtor, I want to get into real estate investing. I talk to Kris because he did it. That's where you want to go. So anyway, guys, keep that in mind. Other than that, CashFlow Kris, BP the mentor. Make sure you flip for cash, hold for wealth. We'll see you guys next Friday. All right.